Coming up on State of Events, Donald Trump Jr. is under scrutiny after documents reveal private Twitter messages between him and WikiLeaks during the 2016 presidential campaign.
And expect delays on BART this Thanksgiving. But on the upside, new BART and Muni trains are coming very soon. Our breaking news coverage starts now.
Welcome to State of Events. I'm Tyler McKinney.
And I'm Veronica Kunzervong. Thanks for joining us. Donald Trump Jr. released private messages with WikiLeaks during the 2016 presidential campaign on Monday. According to the messages, the organization reached President Trump's adult son via Twitter. At the same time, WikiLeaks published hacked emails from Democratic officials. They asked him to promote the hacked emails, and they also suggested President Trump to challenge the election results if he didn't win. This comes after Trump Jr. came under scrutiny for agreeing to give information about Hillary Clinton to a Russian lawyer.
President Trump is in Manila, the last stop of his nearly two-week Asia tour. The president is wrapping things up by taking part in the ASEAN summit. He's also attending the Association of Southeast Asian Nations as well as the East Asia Summit. The participating world leaders got together for photos, which featured a very awkward handshake. While in Manila, Mr. Trump is meeting with a few of his counterparts, including Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. The president says they have a very great relationship and that a full statement on trade will be released Wednesday.
And if you expect to hop onto the new BART trains this Thanksgiving, well, think again. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. According to Mercury News, the cars failed a safety test on Friday. Inspectors also said the platform doors wouldn't open. The California Public Utilities Commission says BART needs to fix this before they can run additional tests. Transportation officials hope to replace all BART cars by 2021.
Attention BART fare offenders, the free ride is over. A BART police officer was battered over the weekend after attempting to cite an alleged fare evader. The transit agency is beginning to really crack down on what is a very costly crime. Riders who jump the fare gates to avoid paying their BART fare cost BART an estimated $25 million a year. Police say they are trying to change the culture, trying to address the issue using enforcement so that people pay their fares. The transit agency recently committed to spending $2.5 million to crack down on fare evaders. The money will go towards station improvements and the hiring of new station workers.
And while it's bad news for BART riders, Muni riders can rejoice. New trains are coming. The Transportation Service says its new cars will be on rail tracks as early as next week. Muni also said it will eventually add 215 new cars, but for now, it's just one. The new vehicles resemble BART's new trains and have similar features. They're also lighter in weight and quieter compared to the older models. It's currently unknown which line will get it first.
It's the end of an era for the Old Bay Bridge. Saturday morning, Caltrans demolished the last two piers that once held the structure over the San Francisco Bay. They finished the demolition project a year ahead of schedule, saving taxpayers nearly $10 million. It only took 6 weekends to complete the task. The implosion caused minor delays, but traffic quickly returned to normal.
A 4.7 magnitude earthquake shook Monterey County on Monday. It was also felt more than 90 miles away in San Francisco. The quake hit at around 11:30 a.m. near Salinas. 9 smaller aftershocks followed with the largest measured at a 2.8 magnitude. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake happened on the San Andreas Fault at a depth of 4 miles. No injuries were reported.
More than 35,000 kids, teens, and parents unleashed their inner scientists at the Bay Area Science and Festival's annual Discovery Day at AT&T Park over the weekend. Reporter Gabby Gebhardt gives you the scientific breakdown of this free and educational event.
At the 7th annual Bay Area Science Festival, thousands of people gathered at AT&T Park to play with robots and experience science and STEM-filled learning. So what exactly is STEM, you might ask?
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
In grades kindergarten through 12th in the United States, most STEM learning focuses on science or mathematics, paying little attention to the T for technology.
To take on these positions that are going to help us continue to lead and be innovators in this technology-driven world.
Bay Area High School Robotics Club Team 841 applied their STEM skills and showcased the future of robotics.
Just showing off our technology, what we've made, and just showing it off to kids.
Richmond High School Program Director Luciano Del Rio understands the importance of motivating students into promising fields.
Either create those new jobs, create that new technology, and or participate in helping the masses.
STEM education is vital to the future of our country, regions, and future of children. STEM is everywhere and it shapes our everyday life.
The reason I joined robotics is because I had a sensational feeling towards technology. Like, I don't know, I just love it whenever I see technology.
If you would like to volunteer next year or help support STEM education, head to bayareascience.org. Reporting for State of Events at AT&T Park, I'm Gabby Gebhardt.
I think San Francisco is a great place to have a science festival. I mean, it's booming. The tech industry is booming here. So it's just a great idea to have that.
Definitely. Science is always fun. I love science. We got to go next time.
Definitely next time. Next on State of Events, the Sutherland Springs in Church, Texas opened its doors after the deadly mass shooting a few weeks ago.
And an outbreak erupts at Disneyland theme park, hospitalizing 12 people. More details after the break.
And welcome back to State of Events.
We really hope you're enjoying your Tuesday afternoon so far.
The First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs opened its doors Sunday evening for the first time since the shooting. The house of worship turned into a memorial. Inside was covered in white, while chairs and roses marked those killed. Associate Pastor Mark Collins says building it was a hard decision, but members and family needed to see the church. The congregation continues service at a nearby location this week and decides whether to demolish the old location.
Our hearts go out to all of the victims of the Texas shooting and their families. Meanwhile, some here in California might argue that the church is no place for marijuana, but there is one church that's all for it. The Temple of Healing and Meditation in Roseville, northeast of Sacramento, is fighting for the use of marijuana in the church. An attorney for the church says the original oil for anointment included cannabis. The city, however, is calling the church an illegal dispensary and sent the church a cease and desist letter. But the church's attorney says it's well within its rights under federal code. The federal government classifies marijuana as a Schedule I narcotic, which is the same class as heroin and LSD. But the temple isn't backing down. They are willing to take their right to use marijuana as far as they have to. The California Senate is changing its process for investigating sexual misconduct complaints following allegations against a sitting Democratic senator. Senator Tony Mendoza is being accused of sexually harassing at least 2 women who formerly work in his office. The Senate Rules Committee currently handles harassment complaints, but not for long. The Senate announced Sunday that it will hire an independent legal team to investigate sexual harassment and abuse allegations. Findings will be made public at the discretion of the victims and whistleblowers.
A new guideline lowers the threshold for high blood pressure, adding to those who already have the condition. This now affects nearly half of U.S. adults. High pressure used to be at least 140/90, but now it's 130/80. The changes made an additional 14% of U.S. adults, but only 2% need medication right away. The American Heart Association says to update your diet, exercise more, and try healthier lifestyles to lower your blood pressure.
And over to Southern California, where Disneyland may give some parents high blood pressure. The park had to shut down 2 of its cooling towers after park visitors got sick. 12 people were hospitalized following the epidemic. Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia caused by Legionella bacteria, causing symptoms such as high fever, cough, chills, and muscle aches. It is not contagious between humans, but it can be contracted by breathing mist in from water that may contain the bacteria. The cooling towers have been treated with chemicals and remain shut down until health officials confirm they are contamination-free. Test results will be back in about 2 weeks. It's nasty.
That is nasty. Half
Scary.
this place on real? I don't think
I don't
so.
know. I don't know about that.
Well, after the break, Niantic Inc. plans to release a brand new augmented reality game for Harry Potter fanatics.
And Chris Carrion is in the studio with this week's Sports Roundup. Our coverage continues.
Personal growth, professional exposure. Child Family Health International. Let the world change you. For more info, visit cfhi.org.
Welcome back. If Pokemon Go made you want to catch 'em all, what can you expect with a new mobile game that has magic and spells? Here's Lucia Cabrera with the story.
Is this really happening? Yes, it's happening. To all my Harry Potter fans out there, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and the creators of Pokemon Go are bringing to you Harry Potter Wizards Unite, or soon to be known as Harry Potter Go. That's right, it's a mobile game where players can become actual wizards. They will be able to choose their Hogwarts house, like Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. Also, they will be able to battle Death Eaters and Dementors, as well as finding the 7 Horcruxes to kill the evil Lord Voldemort. But the excitement could not be whole, and here's one of the biggest Harry Potter fans expressing his feelings about this new game.
Guys, it's happened. It's happening. It's happened. I cannot believe that this freaking got announced. I am absolutely losing my mind, and I'm just so freaking excited. Now, something a lot of you may or may not know about me is I am probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Harry Potter snob you'll ever meet in your life, and I cannot contain my excitement. I am so freaking excited, dude. Like, I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for this freaking game. In case you guys didn't know, I'm excited.
This game will soon be on our phones, but we will have to wait until 2018. In the meanwhile, you could go to Pottermore.com, the official Harry Potter website, to sign up on Harry Potter Wizards Unite to receive an email letting fans know when will this app will be released. But you can also log on to our website, SFSUstateofevents.com, for more information. And we'll keep you updated as well when this game will be available for you. I'm Lucia Cabrera, State of Events.
He is definitely a huge fan. Thank you, Lucia, for that. Did the 49ers get their first win of the season this year? And did the Warriors continue their winning streak? Chris is live in the studio with this week's Sports Roundup. Chris?
Thanks, guys. Well, no Raider updates this week as they are on a bye. And Kevin Durant returned last night for the Warriors as he was nursing a leg injury. And the San Jose Sharks won in comeback fashion Sunday night as they beat the LA Kings with the final score of 2-1. Now let's get to it. Warriors were without Steph Curry Monday night as he sat out with a thigh injury. We see a nice spin move here by Nick Young. And no Steph, no problem. The replacement players picked up the slack as Sean Livingston gets to the rack here in the second quarter. After a competitive first half that ended tied at 56, the Warriors came out in the second half destroying the Magic. Kevin Durant laid the hammer down as Warriors win 110-100. We're off to Levi Stadium where the 1-8 Giants are visiting our 0-9 49ers, the 0-9ers. We jump to this fumble in the second quarter. Ronald Blair off the edge forces the ball loose from Eli Manning. The 49ers capitalize as C.J. Pethard connects with Marquise Goodwin. Let's take a listen.
Down at 8. Nice pickup. Wide open for the speedster, Goodwin. And Goodwin is gone. A 49er touchdown.
From that point on, the 49ers never took their foot off the gas. Sad news, however, as Marquise Goodwin announced after the game that him and his wife lost their son due to pregnancy complications. Our hearts and prayers go out with the Goodwin family. Some Pac-12 action here as number 9 ranked Washington takes on unranked Stanford in Palo Alto. After trailing the entire first half, Stanford managed to upset the Huskies thanks to 3 touchdowns by running back Bryce Love. This 9-yard rushing touchdown sealed the win for Stanford as they went on to beat Washington and taking the number 1 spot in the Pac-12 North in the process. And the Raiders have a long road ahead of them as they travel to Mexico City to take on the New England Patriots at Estadio Azteca this Sunday. 49ers are on a bye week this week, so they get to enjoy their first win under Kyle Shanahan as their head coach. And the Warriors travel to Boston on Thursday to take on the first-place Celtics in a potential NBA Finals matchup. Back to you guys at the desk.
If you're looking for love, you may want to pack up your stuff and get up here, because San Francisco has just been named the #1 city in the country for singles. The city is up against 181 other cities, and it still managed to top the list. Aren't we lucky? Several factors affect the city's promise for soulmates, including the ratio of women to men. San Francisco has a strong score of 67.63. Several other Bay cities made the list but are not highly ranked. San Jose came in 34th place with Sacramento 10 steps behind. In Oakland, number 100 may not be the place for you if you're looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right.
You know, I was a little bit hesitant about downloading Tinder, but hearing about this, I don't know, I might just do it.
You should try it. You never know.
Never know. And why no love for Oakland? Oakland's pretty cool. They got some good stuff there.
It's not bad.
Yeah, the crime is like down. It's fine.
Great food.
It's fine. Good food, good drinks. Well, that's it for this week's episode of State of Events.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.